This is my tutorial on making fabric flowers. These are great for using up your scraps, and it does take a bit of glue, but there's no sewing at all needed, so you can make these really quite quickly. And then when you've got a bunch of these together, I think they'll look really great in a vase, especially in your sewing room. So I got some green pipe cleaners from Michael's. I have some fabric tack glue. You just want something that sticks quite quickly. You could even use a glue gun for this if you wanted. Scraps of fabric. You're also going to want to use your rotary cutter, mat and ruler. And then also some scissors as well. You're going to take 3 pipe cleaners and you're going to twist them together. So you've got a piece that looks like this, and this will be your base. And I'm just going to cut a strip of fabric, and I start with quite a narrow strip for the inside, and then we build our way bigger as we work out. So what will happen is we'll fold the fabric in half, and that will be actually the width that we're working with because it's double-sided. The middle sort of stays quite small, so I'm just going to shave a little bit off this piece. I'm going to start with the middle piece at about 2 3/4 of an inch. And this isn't straight, so I just need to even it up at both sides. And then you're going to fold and press it in half like that. So I'm just going to take this to my iron and press that. Once it's pressed, it'll look like this, and this is your folded edge. And this is the edge that you're going to cut along to make the petals. So I'm going to start cutting not all the way to the edge. You're going to leave a bit of a piece that's uncut there, so it just works like a fringe. And then I'm going to cut these about 1/4 of an inch apart. And I'm just doing this by eye. As it's the middle, I don't actually need that much, so that's probably enough there. And since I've kind of winged it, I'll measure that. So this is about 3.5 inches long. Then you're going to take your stick, you're going to take your glue, and we're going to put a line of glue along where the cuts go up to, so the raw edges, like that. And this is why my hands are covered in glue. This bit is a bit gluey. You're going to put your stem up against there. There will be a little bit of an overlap into the petal area, but it is the middle, so that's okay. And then you're going to roll it. It might even help you to wrap it round like this. Give it a good pinch. Try not to get stuck to it if you can help it. And that's the start of your flower. That's the centre. Right there. Next you're going to choose the next colour to go around. I have this pink. And you're going to cut the next one a little bit wider. So the last one we did was 2 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to cut this one about 3 1/4 to 3.5. And once again, we're going to fold the long edges together and we're going to press that. So as we work our way out, we're going to cut the petals a little bit closer together, just because it will make them spread out nicely and they're not all going to be up against each other. And this piece measures 4.5 inches long. If you make a piece that's a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, that'll still work out fine. And then we're going to do exactly the same as before. We're going to add a line of glue on one side to the edge where you've got the raw edges. And yes, these flowers might fray, but they're actually just going to be like display items, so they shouldn't be that much of an issue. That's why I'm not worried about these raw edges. It's all part of the look. So once again, I'm going to wrap that around the stem. I actually put it a little bit lower down than the starter colour, so it's a little bit further down the stem. I'm just going to roll it on. And I've actually found that mine is starting to open up a little bit there, so I'm just going to add another little bit of glue. Just to hold those layers together. If you do decide to do this with a glue gun, just be careful because it will be hot. Okay, that's round 2. So now I'm going to add a third round, and I'm actually going to make this one quite a lot longer. This one I'm cutting at 4 inches wide. And this is actually quite a long piece because it's folded here. So I'm going to now press long sides together for the final time. And I'm going to cut really quite spindly pieces this time, so this will take a little while. So let's speed this up. So this is my new fringe, and this one measures nearly 8 inches. You can keep adding more and more layers and keep going if you wanted with slightly longer petals. This one's starting a little bit further down, like before. So you're kind of sticking it to the green to begin with, and we're going to cover up this bit that's a little bit ugly here as well. Make sure you pull those petals upwards so that they're not getting stuck in the glue. Now you've got your flower, you're going to want to leave that to dry well before we get to the next stage, which is covering the stem. So while that's drying, you can get some green fabric, and I actually have this jelly roll strip that I'm going to use, and I'm going to cut 1-inch strips from this. I actually think I'll only need 1 width of fabric strip, but if you're doing it from a fat quarter you might want to cut a couple, and I'm going to cut them at 1 inch wide. If they're a little bit off that, that's fine. It doesn't have to be accurate. So there's my 1 inch wide strip. And this one we're not going to fold, we're just going to leave it as it is. And we're going to add glue part of the way down. You're going to kind of just add it as you work, but you do want to get the edges in. So I think that'll probably do me for now, and then we can add some more later. You're going to grab your flower, and you're going to want to cover this wide bit first, because as you can see it sticks quite a lot off the stem. So you're going to lay it down so that this green is covering this sticky out part, so the bottom of the blue, or whatever colour your outside fabric is, and you're going to roll that and just kind of stick it. It'll be quite tight against the top and loose around the bottom, and that's fine, because as we work we're going to rotate it and this fabric will kind of fold in on itself, so you're going to get tighter around the stem as you get closer to it, like this. So I've managed to get a few rotations on there. I now need to add some more glue. And keep going. And each time we're overlapping the previous wrap round, but we're going a little bit further down, so we're starting to work our way down the stem. If you don't actually want your flower to be the full length of the pipe cleaners, you can actually just snip it off once you've got to the point where you've got it the right length. which for me is here. So this is how long I want to go on my flower. I'm going to grab my scissors, chop off the excess of the pipe cleaner, chop off the excess of the green stem fabric, and then I'm just going to finish off the end with the last dab of glue, and I'm going to fold that onto itself. Give it a good squeeze. You're going to want to leave that to dry now as well, and then when you have let that dry, this will be bendy too, and so you can position it however you want. So thanks for watching my tutorial. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more tutorials, please leave a comment, the sort of thing that you'd like to know more about. And if you subscribe to my channel as well, you'll be able to stay updated with all my latest videos.